everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, what I'm going to cover is I'll do uh, 10 minutes of presentation, cover a bit about Blueprint, a bit of history, what CPD is, and then followed by the presentation, I'll move on to a full demonstration of the blueprint, which I'll show you after the presentation. And then right at the end, as Keith has mentioned, we'll have some time to go through any questions that you may have, and also Keith will be answering any questions that you may have in the chats as well. So, with further ado, I'm just gonna move on to our presentation. Okay, so the Blueprint system, it was first launched in November 2022, and it was to replace the system that we had for recording CPD activities. The Blueprint tool consists of self-assessment tool, a personal development plan, and the CPD platform. It also has the resource library and an IOSH ethical practice in IOSH e-learning and assessment. The reason behind the self-assessment tool is there to help you identify your strengths along with areas for improvement. It is mandatory for our technical members, certified members, chartered members, and chartered fellow members to complete the self-assessment. The student members and affiliate membership level, you can skip the self-assessment because recording your CPD is not mandatory for your membership level. On the blueprint, when you come across it, what you will find is there's the personal development plan, and that's there to structure and list your development areas where you wish to focus and further develop yourself on. You'll also come across a page that is called My CPD Record in Blueprint, which will display your CPD activities that you have recorded into the Blueprint system. We expect for you to record your CPD activity with a self-reflection statement on what you have learned and accomplished. And this is the most important part, and I need to emphasize on that, and I will also emphasize it on when I do the demo. The Blueprint also has a CPD resource library now, which offers over 1,000 CPD hours of content aligned with the competency framework. And lastly, the IOSH ethical practice in IOSH e-learning and assessment learning material delivers current content on ethical consideration affecting organizations and the IOSH profession in its broadest content. The CPD requirement within your blueprint are completion of your self-assessment, having a personal development plan, recording 30 hours of CPD activities over a 12-month cycle, and for our chartered members and chartered fellows to complete the ethics module assessments annually. And I'll cover all this in the demonstration after this presentation. Please remember to benchmark yourself against the IOSH competency framework using our self-assessment tool to help you monitor your progress and evaluate your result over time. So what is CPD? CPD is giving competent and up-to-date advice, which is essential part of protecting people in the workplace. It is the responsibility of all occupational safety and health professionals to ensure and to maintain their competence. CPD is completing in a systematic and planned approach to the maintenance, enhancement, and broadening of the knowledge, skills, expertise, and competence of professionals throughout their careers. By requiring our graded categories of membership to undertake CPD, I shows a commitment to the principle that attaining the relevant qualifications is not the end of learning, and that competence of to practice must be regularly developed and reviewed to be capable and rounded occupational safety and health professional. The benefit of completing your CPD are it is an ongoing and structured method of organizing development activities. An up-to-date CPD record allows professionals to demonstrate the maintenance and development of their knowledge and skills to their employers, other professionals, and society. Employers have assurance that their team are dedicated to self-development and maintaining standards and competence This also gives the public confidence that IOSH members with mandatory CPD requirements are professionally competent and are maintaining their professional standards. We've come to the end of the presentation, and I just wanted to highlight our details. If after this meeting, if you need to get in touch with any of the CPD coordinator, you can email us directly to cpd.inquiries@iosh.com. And also our direct number is 0116 3500 888. If you missed this details, don't worry. I'm going to show you um, other places as well where you can find our details. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to start the presentation and jump straight in to our demonstration of the blueprint. Bear with me with the technology. Um, There we go. I'm just going to move this out the way. Right, I hope everyone can see my screen. I'm just going to stop my presentation in the background.
Yeah, it's all fine, Resman.
Is it all good? Okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. So when you first log in to Blueprint, and this is the first time you've logged in, then what you'll see is you'll come across to this page. So this is the self-assessment page, and you're expected to complete 12 sections. Yeah, so each of these are buttons, and when you click on it, what you will encounter is you'll get some competency-based questions, and all you will need to do is answer the question. Now, just for the demonstration purpose, what I've done is I've completed 11 sections and just left one, just so I can show you how it looks like. So if I just minimize that, there we go. So I've got one task left to complete. Now remember, this section you can complete it bit by bit, or you can complete the whole section by one setting. Right, I'm just going to click on the task. There we go. So click on start part one, and this is what you will see. So you'll get a question thrown at you, and the answers, there's no right or wrong answers. All you need to do is select the nearest one that you believe is the correct approach that you would take if you were in that position. So just for demonstration purpose, I'm going to tick just anything just to speed up this section. Okay, so right at the bottom says click to confirm that you would like to submit your selection, and then hit submit. And then again, you've got part two, and then it's going to check how your behavior is towards that situation. And again, just select from the multiple choice question, the one that you believe that you would do if you were in that position. Okay, once all questions been done, what you'll find is your progress bar will say you've got 100% completed. Once you've completed 100%, the system will allow you to move next. What you'll find is if you've not completed 100%, the system won't let you move to the next page until you've completed all 12 sections. So I'm just going to hit the next button because I've just completed all 12 sections. And then what you'll encounter is this page, which is called the Select Development page. So in this Select Development page, what you will see is pretty much a list of development areas, and the list is quite long. And then on the right-hand side, you've got a guidance. So this is kind of to help you visually see where you are for those development areas. And the reason behind this page is basically helping you visually see which area you're potentially you're weak at, and which area you potentially are your strong points. Now, please bear in mind it's only a guide because the system has advised that you score low on it. We understand that there may be certain areas that in your job that you don't touch at all, and of course you will be scored low on it. Um, the system is only trying to help you construct a personal development plan. It is your choice on which development area you want to add to your personal development plan. Okay, so all this is just there to highlight and just to help you construct a personal development plan. So any circles that fall below your level will basically highlight as your weakness. Anything that is on your level, showing that you're on the right place, and anything above is your strength. Automatically, your membership level will be selected and it'll tell you which level you will be in. So all I need to do on this page is select the development area that I want to focus and develop on. So I've got a few that I've selected already in here, and I'm just going to add another two. So I've got here, and I'll choose this one. There we go. So once I've selected all the development areas that I want to add to my development plan, scroll all the way down, hit the next button. There you go. So because we're constructing a development plan, I've selected the development areas. Now, because it's a plan, you need a due date, an estimate date on when do you plan to complete these objectives that you're going to add. So you need to put in a due date for each of the development areas. And then, so here I've got two that I need to complete. All you need to do is click the icon and then select the date. Now it is up to you on when you plan to complete this. If it's a 1 week plan or a month plan or by the end of the year, or say for example it's a 2 years course that you plan to finish in 2 years time, the system will allow you to select the date so you can see all the future dates and stuff. So don't think that the date you put in, that's it, that's the date, because the system is quite flexible. You'll be able to add and remove development areas from your plan, and also you can change dates for the plan. So at any time if there was a delay or you were planning to do it for the next year, you can always come and change the date. And I'll show you that on in the next coming section. So I'm just going to put end of September for this for now. And then I'm going to click to confirm my development plan. So that's it. That's my development plan done. So I've got my all the objectives that I want to add to my plan, and I've got a due date. And I'm just going to hit next, and my plan is created. Okay, so we did a self-assessment when we logged in, and then we got the result to help us create the development plan. Now, once those two are done, the system will allow you to see the full blueprints screen. So as you can see, now it's saying welcome Rasmin Begum, and I can access every other feature of the blueprint. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to move, because I was talking about personal development plan just a minute ago, I'm just going to focus on that so I can show you more features of that. So to access your personal development plan, there's a shortcut here, also in the navigation bar as well, where I can expand it by clicking that three button. So I can expand it and have it like this. And if you don't like this look, you can have the icon look as well. So this star icon is the navigation to your personal development plan, or alternatively use the shortcut here. So open my personal development plan, takes you exactly to the same place. And all you've done is you've opened your personal development plan. Now from this page, you can come here, you can amend your personal development plan, edit them, remove them, you can add more. So you've got the full options to play around with your personal development plan here. So for example, I'm just going to select this data analysis one. So on the right hand side, it gives you more information on that development area. So notice on the due date, what the system allows you to do is it allows me to move the date. So say for example, this was paused and I couldn't complete it, so I'm now planning to get this done by end of December. As simple as selecting your development area and then changing the due date. Okay. On If you want to add any CPD activity for that development area, there is a button as well. So you can hit the record activity, and what happens is a form will open, and then what you do is you'd complete this form and make sure that you've selected the right development area as well, and then that CPD activity is linked to that development area of yours, so it will show just there. So all the CPDs that's linked to that development area. Also, if at any point you decide that okay, this is not one that I want to focus on, I actually want to remove it off my plan. So initially you just started it, but then you change your mind. You can remove it. The system will allow you to move. All you do is click here. I confirm I would like to remove development area from my development plan. Tick this and then hit the remove icon, and this will drop off from the list. Okay. Now, just because you're going to hit the remove button, it doesn't actually delete the development area. All it does, it just removes it from your development plan. On the top, there's a select development area. If you just click on that button, you you can always come back to the select development area. So at any point, you can come back and select new areas. Or say, for example, you've completed all your objectives by the end of this year, and that was your plan. And then say you want to go and select your new objectives, you can come back and select new areas. Okay. What you'll also find is that now you've got a reassess button as well. So this reassess button is there. So if, for example, you've just completed a objective of yours in your development plan, and you want to physically see if you have improved in that area, to see if that circle has moved from one level to the next level, then you'll need to reassess. However, you do not need to reassess after you've done it or already initially in the beginning. So it's not mandatory for you to reassess ever again. And if you don't want to do it, it's up to you. You don't need to do it again. Okay, you can stick to the development areas that is on this list. Alternatively, if I just hit save and close, you can add your own personal development areas. So say, for example, you've got your own objectives that you have planned. You can add a maximum of 5. So say one of them was, oh, you're going to do first aid training this year, and that's part of your plan this year. Click on add personal development, give it a title, first day training, first aid training, and then in the description identify I'm going to do a 5-day first aid training course, and this is planned, and then hit save. When you hit the save button, what happens is your personal ones just gets added to your plan. So again, when you click on these, basically it'll be exactly like your other development plans. It's the same settings, so you can change the due date. You can record your CPD activity to those development areas, and you can see all the CPD activities that you've added, or you can remove it. And then if you're happy with that area and you think you've completed it, there is the option where you can tick, I confirm I have completed sufficient development, and click set as complete. What that means, you're marking off that development area. So you're saying that I've completed that objective on mine. Okay, so and that's how you mark that person development area. And that's exactly the same for the others as well. So once you've got enough CPD record for these, and then you should be able to see the option to mark it as complete. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit close and I'm just gonna go to the home page because I've covered everything on the personal development plan. If you still need more time absorbing or anything, or you've got a question, I'll be able to answer this right at the end. So I'm just going to move on to this section, open my CPD record. Okay, so if I just click on that, what this page is, any CPD activity that you've recorded, what you'll find is all listed in here. Okay, so you can find any of your CPD records just here. And if you want to open any of your CPD record, you just click on the record, and on the right hand side, you've got the options to it. So you've got edit option, and that will open your CPD activity form that you've completed for that. Right. Also, you can create your own CPD activity from here as well. So you've got a button here, and then you can complete the form here. So I'm just gonna go from the top, and I'm just gonna slow down on here just so I can explain how you'd record a CPD activity. So the first field is called activity title, and what we expect is that you put a meaningful name so we know what activity you are recording. So I'm just gonna put uh, branch meeting right now. Okay, I'm just gonna put a date on just so that um I know which one it is. I think I've got another CPD activity titled this. Okay, there we go. So give it a meaningful name of what activity it is, and then select a category that the activity falls into. So this could overlap into many different categories, but just put the one that you believe that it best suits. So I'm just going to put this on as webinar. And then the description, this part can be a brief description. We just want to know what it is that you attended. I'm just for demonstration purpose, I'm just going to keep the text simple, just to save time. Just going to put in attended webinar that covers CPD and Blueprint. There we go. So that's sufficient. Now, right at the bottom, this reflection bit, this is the most important part. We need to know how long it took you to complete that activity. And you've got a drop down box. The maximum you've got is 10 hours that you can record. Anything more than 10 hours, what we would advise is to break it down. So if it was a 3-day course, then you would have 3 CPD entry. Or what you can do is as well is you can split it by particular topic or a module unit. It's up to you how you would want to break it down, but the main thing is you want to capture all the hours that you spent on that CPD activity. Right, I'm just going to put in an hour and a half for this. In the reflection, now this is what we will be reading at the time of the audit. We want to know what is it that you've learned? How is it benefited you? Like, has it is it going to benefit you in your current practice, your career, your future career? How is this CPD that you've done has developed you? Basically, that's what we want to know. I have got few questions that we can share. So these are the type of questions that you can copy and paste in the reflection box. What we'll do is we can put this in the chat, or we can send it to you afterwards. So the things that we're looking for is, what activity did I complete? Why did I choose to complete this activity? what did I learn from this activity? How will I use this learning going forwards in my professional practice? Now notice as soon as I put these in, I've already used 186 characters. Now, if you would like to structure it like this and just answer the question, you can easily meet 500 characters. So, so in this reflection box, what you need to do is have a minimum of 500 characters. That's not 500 words, it's 500 letters you need to put in this reflection box. And you can definitely meet this requirement, especially if you're going to structure it. Okay, so I'm just going to move forward to the right-hand side. You've got the development area, and in the development areas, all you're going to see is your development plan. It's pretty much going to list out what you've got in your development plan. So all you need to do in this section is you just tick the one that is relevant. So that CPD activity that you're recording, is it relevant to any of the development areas? If it is, just tick it. So that's it. You can tick multiple development areas because some can overlap as well. Now, if it's a CPD activity, but it wasn't part of your plan, but obviously you want to record the CPD activity. So say for example, you at work, you got told that you need to go into this diversity and inclusion training. It wasn't part of your plan, but it's been given to you, and then you've done the training, and now that counts as CPD, and you want to record this. All you do is you still record as normal, and if it's not part of your plan, you just leave it unticked. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. Now moving down. Okay. On the upload evidence and add web links section. Now, this area is where you'd add any evidence that you want to add. I just want to make you all aware that it's not mandatory for you to show or upload any evidence to us. But however, if you got stuff that and you're happy to upload, yeah, feel free to add. So I'm just going to show you how you'd upload an evidence. So if you click on upload, then this window will pop up. In the reference name is basically the name that we will see that if you give. So for example, I'm just going to write first aid cert. So that's the name that we will see as the title of that document. And then details. So again, I'm just going to put set. This is just for demonstration purpose. And then hit upload. And then in the file explorer, find your evidence, hit upload. Oh, sorry, hit save. I mean, there you go. And that's how you'd attach your evidence. Add web link is similar, but it's like, say you went to a webinar or some kind of course you've done online and you want to provide the website link that you've joined. So all you do is, again, you put a type reference name of, and then the URL of where you signed up, and then details of what is it, the link that we're going to open, so we know before opening. Okay, I'm just going to hit close. So just want to emphasize, this is not mandatory, this area. At the bottom, what you'll notice is you've got the start date here, and then you've got the save button. So in your start date, just put when this CPD activity started. So I'm just going to put today, and I'm just going to hit save. Please, please, please make sure you hit save, because if you don't hit save and you just hit close, it will not record. And I need to tell you that because all it will do is it'll exit out of it. So please make sure you hit the save button. Okay. So once it's saved, what will happen is your CPD activity will be added to the list of your list of CPD records that you've added. At any time, if you want to edit, then you've got the edit option on the right-hand side. Notice how I've only got a half a circle for the one that I've just created. Okay. Now, what half a circle means, it means you've not completed that activity. To mark it complete, so for it to bring to a full circle, what happens is if it turns into a full circle, the system then calculates your hours and it tells you you've achieved this. Whereas if you haven't marked it as complete, then it will show as half a circle and it will just show pending. That's it. Okay, because the system understands that you've not completed that activity. Now, to complete that activity, I'm just going to click on that record and click edit. It brings the form. The main reason why I is not marked as complete is because I haven't provided 500 characters. So what I'm just going to do, just for demonstration purpose, please don't copy me on this, but I'm just going to bring to 500 characters. There we go, just to show you. So once I meet the 500 characters limit, notice now you've got new functions added. So you've got the end date and you've got the record as completed checkbox there as well. So now I can put in the date. So I'm going to put today's date and I'm going to check record as completed. That's what you need to tick and then hit save. There you go. So your half circle has now become a full circle. So that shows it's completed and also the time that has been added onto my achievement as well. So out of my 30 hours, I've got 26 that I've marked as complete. Okay. Now, on the top of this page, there is the CPD year. I just wanted to show you this bit. If you have been with IOSH for more than a year, what you'll notice is this is a drop-down box for you then. Then you will see your previous years where you can see all your CPD activities for each cycle. Okay. And any CPD that you record, the system will automatically work out which year it falls under because it will look at the date and it will see, does it fall? So, for example, I joined on the 14th of March. So, if I've recorded a CPD activity and I'd identified before the 14th of March 2024, it will automatically save the record in my previous year because I've done it there. Okay. Also on this page, you will find there's an export button as well. So it'll export all your CPD records. So if you ever needed to um, pass it on to, is that you had a request for your employer to prove your CPD activities, it's there now. You can download it yourself and hand it in or email it. It'll open it in an Excel sheet. Now I'm just gonna go back to the dashboard. Okay. Um, and I'm going to move forward to the CPD resource library. So the CPD resource library, we've got open my CPD resource library. If we just click on that. Now, see this area as your little self-training area. So for example, say you've selected a development area and you from your development list and you have no idea where to look. What you'll find is IOSH, we're working very hard. We've got a team who's constantly creating these documents, and as each day go, when more and more documents has been created, we'll populate this. So you can come to this area and you can do your self-training. So and once you've done your self-training, you can claim these as your CPD activities that you've gone and you've basically self-developed yourself by doing research in our resource library. Okay, so this is definitely a benefit. So see this as your benefit. If you're struggling to find CPD activities, you'll find you'll find a lot here. You can obviously search for a particular topic. You can filter it down as well. So you've got different areas. Also, you've got levels as well. So understand, innovate. So what you'll find is there'll be some documents, but it's in different level, but it's the same document. So if you start off from understand, is basically that means it will start from the foundation, so the basic details. If you if the same document, but it's the innovate level, basically it is an advanced version, is more detailed um on that topic. So what I would always recommend if it's a new topic that you're learning, start off with the foundation level and then build it up. So okay. So yeah, this is your area. Also, so when you click on these areas, you have got a like a timestamp. These are estimated times. So because it says 15 minutes, don't think that, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes because we understand like for different members, that 15 minutes for someone it could be 10 minutes. For someone else it could be an hour. So when you are recording your CPD activity, that's why we advise put in the time it actually takes you to do that activity. Okay. All you have to do is select the resource that you're interested in, and there's an option here, click to open, and that will go off and open the resource. So the resource could be, it could be a training video, it could be like a website with full of information, it could be an article, presentation. So we've got a whole variety of resources. Um, and what we recommend is once you've basically done your researching and you read on the document, there is a shortcut here as well to add your CPD activity. There you go. So that shortcut uh, is you'll find it in recording your CPD area. In the PDB area, there's a shortcut there as well, and the last shortcut's here as well. So you can uh, you can basically access that CPD form from different area of the blueprint to record. Okay. Now I'm just going to hit the home icon and I'm just going to move forward to IOSH ethical practice in OSH e-learning and assessment. Now this one, these three modules and three assessments, these are mandatory for our chartered members and chartered fellows. What we recommend is that everyone to have a go at this. I've done it myself and I think it was really useful. I actually had fun doing this. I do recommend this. However, it's not mandatory for any other level. Just wanted to make you aware. It's only for chartered members and chartered fellows that it is mandatory. And uh, these modules, if you do complete them, they count as your CPD activity. So if you ever go and do as a refresher course as well, and you come back 2 years later and you want to do it as a refresher, and again, you can claim them as CPD activity then as well. Also, if you've completed these ethics modules, so once you've done it, the year after going forward, each year, is expected for our chartered members and chartered fellows is that you do the assessments annually. So what you'll notice is you'll get a pop-up message and it will say you'll need to complete your assessments. So these will reset to gray, saying you need to do them. And then each year, all you need to do is redo the assessments. The modules will always be there in case you're struggling with the assessments. You can always go back and I'll have a refresher to help you pass your assessments. Okay. Now, I'm just going to move right at the top in the help section. I just wanted to cover that everything that I've spoken about and shown you today, we have got our user guide. So if anyone doesn't like a video training or workshops like this, you can download our user guide and then follow our instruction. Alternatively, say by the time you've come out of this session and you've already forgotten half of the things, that's absolutely fine. We have got a recorded video of everything that I've covered, so we've got you. Don't worry. And also, the bit I said, if you need support, our information's here, our direct information's here. You can contact us. So our direct email's there, our number's there as well. So don't ever feel that you're not supported. All the details, user guide, we made everything just there available for you. Tongue twister there. And so, and our number's there. So anytime you're stuck, remember we are here for you. So don't worry about the whole blueprints tool. Main thing I would say is play around with the blueprint because it is overwhelming. I totally understand. A new system is always hard. But that is pretty much the blueprint. I'm just gonna move towards right at the bottom. There's an accessibility toolbar. I just want to highlight this area. So if I click, there you go. If I click on there, what happens is a toolbar opens. So what this toolbar does is it allows you to sorry, I need to pause that is reading out. So the system allow you to read it out. It reads out any section that you want it to read out. You can zoom in if you're struggling to see. If you want to minimize, if it's too big for you, you can change the color according to what you like. Say you like the dark mode. I think a lot of people like the dark mode these days. And then you've got the ruler as well. So if you want to focus, you can change language. So according to if English isn't your first language. So you can play around with this toolbar and make it easier for yourself. If you want to see the full user guide of each section, just click on the user guide and that will basically show you what each icon is. I'm just going to click the X icon because while I'm talking, I can hear everything that is on the screen. So the system basically was reading out everything that was on the screen. For some people, that's useful, but for people like me, I find that a bit annoying. I feel like, oh, I can't read because the system's reading it out to me. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to recap everything that I've shared with you, starting from when you first log in. So when you first logged in, you're required to do your self-assessment. Once you've done your self-assessment, then you'd construct your development. It's your personal development plan. So all you do is select the development areas. Once you've done the development plan, you get to see the full blueprint system. And then you get to modify your personal development plan by going on to open my personal development plan. On the left-hand side, you've got access to all your CPD activities. You can add, edit, remove, play around with those. On the right-hand side, you've got the CPD resource library, which is your little benefit area for you to just do some self-training and gain more CPD hours and to record them. And then you've got ethics as well, so you can claim them as CPD activities as well. And for our chartered members and chartered fellows, this is mandatory for you guys to complete the ethics modules initially and the assessment, and then going after each year to complete the assessments. So that is blueprint, and that's all the features of the blueprint. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop sharing so we can move forward to all the questions you may have for us. And thank you everyone for listening in to that demo. I hope this actually has helped you with the software and have a better understanding. Right.
Okay, thank you very much, Rasmin. I learnt a few things myself there. I thought it was a bit of a whiz on it, but obviously, but it's really interesting. It's we saw a lot of questions, and by the way, Tracy's done an absolutely brilliant job. She got to the questions before I could get anywhere near them. which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. It's the one thing that seemed to be coming up there. What counts as CPD? Anything that you
Yeah.
feel has benefited you in your work. I must admit that I cross over and go into HR. I'm currently doing some work on evidence-based management. It all links to what I do and how I do it at work. And if I feel it's got any benefit in it, I record and use the time. Not just anything, I tend to cherry pick, but there's some great opportunities for people to use this system. And I do think it helps people to focus a little bit on what they're interested in, not just from a professional basis, but a personal basis too. And you can get involved in different things. As long as you can use it within the sphere of your work, then it's useful. Yeah. And you should be recording it. Anything, book chapter, article in a book, in a magazine, anything, you know. So I'm sure Rasmin and Tracy will tell you exactly the same.
Yeah, I totally agree that we don't realize that we are doing CPD all the time. So anything that you're developing yourself in, doesn't matter you're going into a branch meeting or you just done some reading in an article, or any policies that you've updated, you're basically learning the new updates and you're applying it. So or anything that you've maintained, they all count as CPD. So please record them.
Yeah,
Definitely. I agree. And it's don't hinder yourself with it. You know, it's not all OSH related. We do a lot of stuff in our careers that, you know, helps us with leading on health and safety and being that voice. And it's very important that you add that as your CPD, because it's those soft skills really that can lead health and safety forward in a good light, and that's all CPD. If you're mentoring, you know, add that. If you're doing an Excel course, you know, add that. PowerPoint, learning about that. It's all useful towards your career and your development. Also, if any of you are doing the assessment sides to progress your membership, or giving something back, you know, that again can be recorded as CPD as well.
Okay. I want to just throw it open to anybody. If you just want to bob up in the chat, is there any more questions that people want to cover at all? I'm just having a look. It says can't get the chat. Just looking now where we got to.
I've got one here from Daryl Skinner. I'm attending my first IOSH meeting. I've implemented and achieved certification ISO 45001, which exceeded more than 30 hours. Would that be acceptable to log? Of course. Yeah, that's good, because there's a lot of work involved in that, isn't there? And you know, to implement that, it's a huge amount of your time. So that can all be recorded as CPD. CPD can be part of your job role. So what you're doing on a day-to-day basis is all CPD, because we're always learning from our jobs anyway. So please, that's perfectly fine. As Rasmin explained, the system at the moment does limit you to 10 hours maximum per activity. You can divide that up into 3 activities if it's 30 hours. If it's more than 30 hours and you don't want to keep repeating yourself in your activities, please do put it in your reflection or in the description. You know, this activity took me a lot longer than 10 hours. This is what it gave me. And that's a good point to reflect as well in your reflective notes. You know, you've done all this work, you've worked all these hours on this point, and it took a lot longer than the 10 hours that the system has allowed you to limit it to.
Yeah, I think it's just come up in a question there from Gillian Scarborough. Courses capped at 10 hours. Can you count more? An example of how I'm currently doing a little bit on evidence-based management on a certificate level, and there's about 10 modules. So I've just broke it down into the modules, and it works out at about 8 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours each, dependent on the size of the module. So yeah, Gillian, just break it down, just like we've just been said by Tracy there, just make sure that you put in the description that it is module A or module B or whatever, so they can see what that is. But no, yeah, that's more than, to me, that's more than acceptable. I'm just waiting for Rasmin and Tracy to say, oh, hang on a minute, that's not. But no, to me, it's a natural way of recording, because if it is a module in something on a broader subject, then it's different kinds of learning. So
Definitely.
yeah, exactly. I'm
Good
just looking if there's anything else. Catherine's just asked, how do I join the Yorkshire branch via my membership login? Right. Yeah, all you need to do, Catherine, is something that we can't do, but if you contact the membership team, what they will do is associate your membership with the Yorkshire branch. What you will then get on a regular basis is updates on branch events through our committee mailer. And also, if you want to put a request in to join the LinkedIn Yorkshire branch group, we can accept you. And then obviously there's information going through there as well, Catherine. If that's okay. Any problems, just send an email to the Yorkshire branch at ioshNetworks.com and we'll get back to you. That's okay. Another one, so look. No, that's just a response.
I think I've managed to get onto the most of the questions.
I think you got all of them.
I hope so. Because I think, Rasmin, you need to pop off now, don't you?
Yes, unfortunately, I need to make a shoot.
I can stay on, obviously, so that's fine. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Same question from Aziz. How do you join the Yorkshire Branch Committee meeting? 2 seconds. I think that's jumped. I've lost that. No, it seems to have jumped. Anyway, I've lost it. If anybody's interested in joining the Yorkshire branch, if you're not currently affiliated with us but an IOSH member, just all you need to do is contact membership committee, the membership team, and they will associate your membership with the Yorkshire branch, and then you'll start to get information through. Okay, right.
I think one of the main question at the moment is regards to CPD. So what happens with your CPD cycle? It's not a calendar year. It is aligned to your membership subscription renewal. So that's a point to bear in mind. Once we've passed the 12 months from launching our membership grades, which was last year, so that is actually November the 22nd this year, anybody renewing their membership subscription post 22nd of November this year, we will audit the 30 hours requirement. Okay, so that's quite a good point. We are sending various communications around that at the moment. We did send a big mail out back in June this year, just to remind people that is what's going to happen. But there's nothing to worry about on that. It's just we will be there in a supportive capacity for you as well, to make sure that you're on the right lines and everything else. And you will have a time frame if you've not managed to record that CPD in that time to get it recorded as well.
Yeah. Amy has just asked a question regarding IOSH diploma studies. Could you capture those self-study hours too? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you can split that down into, I mean, it's a long time since I did that, so I don't know what the format is now. So yeah, if you can split it down into, obviously you can only claim 10 hours, so just split it down into bite-sized chunks and record those.
Definitely. Massive load of CPD and probably all your CPD.
Yeah, I would imagine it would eat it up quite quickly. And some.
Yeah.
is it? What was that question? Jonathan Hemingway. Is it best to upload evidence where possible? Yeah. At the completion of something, if you've completed a course, then just upload the certificate if you wish. Obviously, some things. I mean, I suppose you go. Little bit of feedback here, Tracy. If you were reading an article, maybe if you were reading off a screen, you could upload the article as evidence too. I think that might be a little bit far, but you know, you can do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not a mandatory requirement by all means, but we give that option so people have everything in the right place if they need quick access to something. And it's always a good reminder of what you did and when you did it as well. I know you put that description all in the kind of the log, but if you need quick reference to something, especially a certificate, you know, because that's the completion of success as well, isn't it? And it's nice to see and look back on as well, I think, because I do my CPD and it's always nice to look back on what you've achieved.
Yeah, definitely.